The movie opens with 5 American soldiers sleeping. One of them wakes up when he sees a shadowy figure resembling a human near a tree, but then it suddenly disappears. These 5 soldiers have been ordered to guard a castle in France, which once belonged to the Helwig family before being seized by Nazi soldiers. The Helwig family, who lived in the castle, were all brutally killed by the Nazis. On their way to the castle, they spot a Nazi vehicle in the distance. They quickly set up a bomb, and the explosion destroys the vehicle. Afterward, they take valuables from the Nazi soldiers they killed and continue their journey. As they travel, they encounter a group of Jewish civilians. Tappert approaches a mother holding her child and kindly offers her a gold tooth that he took from the Nazi soldiers earlier. This scene shows a softer side of Tappert, as he helps the woman in a difficult situation. After this encounter, the soldiers continue toward the castle. When they arrive, they see that the castle is enormous and luxurious, but from the moment they step foot on the grounds, they start to feel uneasy. They notice another group of American soldiers who are in a hurry to leave, even though the castle seems like a comfortable place with soft beds and plenty of food, a much better option than sleeping in the woods. However, the departing soldiers seem eager to escape, leaving behind a backpack in their rush. The soldiers begin to explore the castle, and strange things start happening almost immediately. Tappert is startled when a hula hoop suddenly falls from the attic. Chris hears strange noises coming from the study, and Butchie hears something behind a door, but when he tries to open it, the door is locked. Strangely, as Butchie turns to walk away, the door suddenly opens by itself. Later, while resting, the soldiers discuss the eerie events that have been happening. Their conversation is interrupted by a loud noise coming from upstairs, startling them. Confused and on edge, they try to make sense of it all, only to realize it's Morse code that translates to, "I have no legs." As the night goes on, Tappert, who is a sniper, begins surveying the surroundings with his rifle. But as he scans the area, he is confronted by a terrifying ghost that shows its face to him. Meanwhile, Kirk is about to fall asleep when a music box suddenly starts playing by itself, and Eugene sees a family photo in the basement vanish right before his eyes. The next morning, the soldiers regroup and talk about the bizarre events from the night before. They all agree that the castle is definitely haunted. They soon receive a message over the radio, warning them that a large group of Nazi soldiers is headed toward the castle. The team considers hiding in the forest until the Nazis pass, but Chris, being the commander, insists that they stay in the castle and defend their position. As they're relaxing, another strange event occurs. A Morse code signal starts playing, spelling out the message, "If you lie, you die." Then the radio starts speaking directly to them, saying, "If you leave, you will die." That night, the Nazi soldiers arrive to inspect the castle. Chris and his team are ready, hiding inside, but the Nazis don't find anyone and begin to leave. However, just as they're about to get in their trucks, a loud noise from inside the castle draws them back in, and a battle breaks out between Chris's team and the Nazi soldiers. During the fight, Chris and his team witness more strange occurrences. Some of the Nazi soldiers seem to drown as if an invisible force is pulling them under. Another soldier is found hanging, having tied himself up without anyone touching him. And yet another soldier suddenly bursts into flames. Despite all of this, Chris's team manages to defeat the Nazi soldiers, but at a high cost. Butchie, one of the soldiers, is gravely injured while trying to protect his comrades from a bomb. As Butchie lies critically wounded, the team becomes more convinced that the castle is indeed haunted. But they are left with one big question: why are the ghosts helping them? Their suspicions are confirmed when Eugene finds a journal in the basement. He reads the story aloud, and it matches the events they've been experiencing. The journal tells the tale of the Helwig family's tragic murder. The Nazis drowned the family's son, hanged the daughter, and burned the father alive. All because the family had been hiding Jewish people in their home to protect them from the Nazis. While they're still processing the story, Butchie, who had been critically injured, suddenly wakes up as if possessed. He repeatedly shouts, "This isn't real," before dying. The constant haunting drives the team to make a difficult decision. They choose to leave the castle, even though they know they'll face military punishment for abandoning their post. After burying Butchie, the team sets off, but no matter how far they walk, They always end up back at the castle. It's as if the ghosts won't let them leave until they've helped them. Realizing they can't escape, Chris's team decides to return to the castle and search for the Hellwig family's remains to give them a proper burial. Eugene leads the search, using clues from the journal to try and locate the bodies. But when they reach the last page of the journal, they find that it has been torn out, leaving them without crucial information. Chris comes up with a plan. They will perform a seance to summon the spirits and ask them where the bodies are hidden. During the ritual, ghostly footprints appear, leading them to a hidden room in the house. There they find the bodies of the Hellwig family. The team immediately begins preparing to bury them properly. As they're burying the bodies, Eugene finds the missing page from the journal tucked inside one of the corpses. The final entry reveals a shocking truth. The Hellwig family wasn't French as the soldiers originally thought. They were actually Afghan refugees who had been hiding Jewish people in their home and planning to help them escape to America. The journal also reveals that before the family was killed, the wife of the Hellwig family cast a curse, which means a curse on those who witness the suffering of others, but do nothing to help. Burying the bodies doesn't solve the problem. Instead, it activates the curse, making the spirits of the Hellwig family even more powerful. The vengeful spirits return, stronger than before, and begin attacking Chris's team. Just as the spirits are closing in, Butchie's ghost appears and shouts a warning. Suddenly, Chris wakes up, not in the castle, but in a futuristic laboratory. He is connected to a machine, with tubes and wires attached to his body. Around him, his fellow soldiers lie in similar states, unconscious and hooked up to the same system. A doctor named Dr. Engel explains that Chris and his team have been in a trauma simulation program designed to help them cope with the psychological aftermath of war. In reality, Chris and his squad are soldiers who served in Afghanistan. They had been tasked with protecting an Afghan family who were informants for the US government. The real horror is revealed. When Chris and his team arrived at the family's home to evacuate them, militants from ISIS attacked before they could get the family to safety. Chris and his squad hid while the militants tortured and killed the Afghan family in the same way the Hellwig family was murdered, drowning the son, hanging the daughter, and burning the father alive. The mother of the family was left alive to witness the brutal deaths of her loved ones, but Chris and his team were under strict orders not to intervene due to the overwhelming number of ISIS fighters. After the militants left, Chris and his team emerged from their hiding spot, only for the mother of the family to come out holding a bomb. Enraged by the soldiers' failure to save her family, she detonated the bomb, killing herself. Back in the lab, Chris realizes that the simulation is not just about recovery. It's a psychological program meant to help the soldiers process their guilt and trauma. However, Chris suspects something is wrong, as his memories from the simulation don't align with reality. He begins to believe that the ghosts of the Afghan family have somehow infiltrated the program, and if the simulation isn't stopped, it could kill his team. In the end, Chris begs Dr. Engel to put him back into the simulation so he can face the ghosts and make amends for his past actions. The movie ends with Chris re-entering the simulation, determined to right the wrongs of his past. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, because by subscribing you have supported me to make better videos. See you in the next video.